الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أيام معدودات. Ramadan al-Mubarak is only a few days away from us. And learning the basic needs and masail of fasting SAWM is farad on every individual. That is the rule regulation. That one fast, one salat gets compulsory on us. Learning the basic rule regulation of taharat and salat is necessary on us. It's farad. So we should know the basic things. Same, when we get married, we do nikah. Learning the basic masail of nikah and talaq are farad. Same with all the masails we do. All the things get compulsory on us. When Hajj gets compulsory on us, and we're going for Hajj, learning the basics of Hajj is farad too. The details are ulama job. Same when zakat gets compulsory on us, learning the basics of zakat is farad on us too. And today we're going through SAWM, fasting, roza. Learning the basics of fasting is compulsory. I know I will go in a bit of detail, but still that much learning is farad. So today's, before I start the session, this is a learning session, a studying session. What I'm trying to say is that by you guys asking me questions and whatever you do not understand asking me, that will make the session and the lesson fruitful. If I cover the whole book of SAWM and you don't understand anything, it's no benefit. So don't be shy if you do not understand anything. Don't say, oh, people will say, oh, he doesn't understand this or she doesn't understand this. Nabi alayhi salatu was salam says, man tawada lillahi rafa'ahu Allah wa man takabbara wada Allah. This muhaddithin say, my teachers will say, the people say, I do not want to ask this question, alright, out of ajizi. This is not putting myself down, no. This is takabbur. This is showing that you think that I'm higher and bigger than everyone else. If I ask this question, people say, oh, he doesn't know or she doesn't understand this kind of question. So don't be shy of asking questions. We'll have a Q&A at the end, but in between anything you do not understand, either I spoke fast, or I didn't say something clear, or you didn't understand anyway, you can ask the question and ask again and again. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll try our best to make you understand. First, I don't want to go through the fadails too much, the virtues of Ramadan, but I just want to indicate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I made SAWM compulsory on you so you can come pious. That's one of the hikmah and wisdom. But we do not just consider the hikmah. The real thing is we believe this is the hukm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we take it as it is. That's what we have to understand. We do not base all Shariat mutahara on hikams and wisdom. So someone will say, what's the wisdom behind this? What's the hikmah behind this? Either we understand the hikmah and wisdom, we don't understand the hikmah and wisdom, we just take it because it's the hukm of Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's what we have to learn in life. That whenever we hear, this is the hukm of Allah, this is the hukm and saying of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, without any if and buts, we take that. That's what we have to learn. And if we learn that, and that sinks in our heart, then we are complete Muslims. And as my teacher says, that any saying, anything that reads from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if we have a bit of doubt in that, we're not a Muslim. My teacher said, Shaykh Nazir said, Rahmatullah alayhi, that anything that reads from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to you, we are fully yaqeen and no doubt that this is the saying of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's right. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is right. He said, if even 99.5 we say he's right and only a bare point we have doubt in it, we're not Muslim. So that's how we have to take Shariat al-Mutahara. Whenever we hear this is the saying of Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we take it. You know, he says that Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala was waqaf. It means when anyone from the gathering used to stand up and say, no, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this, straight away, without anything else, he used to say, you are right, I take my call back, and this is what Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, finish. So this is how it should be. Anyway, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In the beginning, Ashura fasting was farz. The 10th of Muharram. Imam Bukhari rahmatullah alayhi and Imam Muslim rahmatullah brings the hadith, which I might even quote later on, that once the message of seeing the new moon got late to Madinatul Munawwara, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent a message around who hasn't eaten up to now, they start fasting the Ashura. And who has eaten, they do the qada later on. So this hadith in Bukhari and Muslim is in clear cut saying that Ashura was farz in the beginning. Then when Ramadanul Mubarak fasting came compulsory, the fardiyat, the compulsory part of Ashura got mansukh. Yeah, but it still remains sunnat and mustahab. And now the fasting of Ramadan Mubarak is farz. In the beginning, there was a lot of changing in the fasting. If you read the Surah Al-Baqarah ayah, Ya ayyuhal ladheena amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyamu kama kutiba ala alladheena min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقون فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير لكم وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Anyway, this ayat right to the end of this ruku is showing us that the fasting in the beginning of Ramadan got compulsory, but in the beginning there was a choice, either fast or either give a fidya. If you don't want to fast, don't fast, because they were not used to it yet. They can pay for it. That was in the beginning, not now. Yeah? So there you had a choice, either fast or either pay fidya. Then that stopped. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no. When you see the month, now you have to fast throughout when you have the ability, unless you have some valid excuse. The next was that they were not allowed to eat from Sehri till Maghrib. Once they used to break the iftar, they were allowed to eat until they do not go to sleep or until Isha Salat. So if one of the Sahabis waiting for food and he just dozed off, so now he had to start the fasting. The next day he hasn't eaten anything. His wife went to prepare, he worked all day. So it was once you, after iftar, if you doze off, alright, no food now. all night till I'll take you for the next day. Same if you read your Isha, or if you read your Isha Salat, there's no food after that. This difficulty, and no commencing with your wife at night either. This commencing was not allowed, no sleeping with your wife. So the barakat of Sahabas. Some of the Sahabas made some mistakes. Some of them dozed off and did not eat. Some of them slept with their wife accidentally. And when this message came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, that now they can eat after ghurub al-shams till sahri time. So ma'atimu siyama ila al-layli. Yeah? And they can, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that now you can do intercourse at night too. You can eat all night too. And just fast from Subh Sadiq till sunset. These kind of changes happen. And this is the barakat of Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. So this is a slight history of fasting. And what did the Yehudis do before, and what did the, Nasara did do? If I start going in that history, it will get too long. We won't be able to cover the Masais. So let's start the Masais. As-Sawm. As-Sawm means, literally, lughatan means refraining. So the refraining can be from talking. It can be from eating, drinking, walking, anything. That's what lughatan means. You know, what did Maryam say? فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنْسِيًّا. In Sumtu, I'm fasting, I'm not going to talk to anyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to her, tell them when they come by you, I'm fasting. And the fast is not talking. And that was in their Sharia. So lughatan means not eating, not like refraining yourself. Shar'an means هو الإمساك عن الأكل والشرب والجماع نهارا مع النية, is refraining from eating, drinking, and commencing daytime with intention and fulfilling your desires. When I say desires, I'm trying to cover smoking. Alright? Alamgiriya brings that. So refraining from eating, drinking, medication, commencing and fulfilling your desires daytime with intention. You have to have intention. Yeah. There's 6 categories of fasting. Ramadan fasting, Nadari Mu'ayyan. Nadari Mu'ayyan means that you make a vow and you appoint a day. Like for instance, someone say that I'm going to fast on this Monday. And if this happens, you make a vow. Yeah? And that's Mu'ayyan, you appoint a day. Qadai Ramadan, a fasting which you miss in Ramadan. Nadari Ghairi Mu'ayyan, a vow which you have made but is not appointed. nadri ghayri mu'ayyan, a vow which is not appointed. Kafarat, kafara, you know kafara, where you have to pay, yeah, like some of them you have to fast kafara, right? Yeah, we come to kafara later on anyway.
Broken promise, yeah?
Yeah, that's one of them, yeah. Number 6, nafal fasting.
Nafal fasting means sunnah fasting.
And nafal sunnah, that's all covered.
Like ayami bees.
Ayam bees, all of these. Nafal is a word alright which covers anything beside wajib and farz. So that will cover the sunnah and mustahab, and all these fasting covers under the word of nafal. Same with the salat too. All the rule regulation which applies for sunnah, nafal, mustahab, that's all the same. And when we come for farz and wajib, similar rule regulation for them. So when we say there's 6 types of fasting, we need to know niyyat. What is niyyat? Niyyat really means the heart knowing. This is what Alamgiri has wrote. That the heart knows that what we are doing, but saying verbally is not necessary. So I'm trying to say this niyat word, alright, is there's misunderstanding in this. People think that you have to say verbally. No, you do not have to say verbally. So for instance, I'll give you an example of salat. Do I have to say that I'm reading 4 rakat salat, first salat, behind this imam, in this masjid, in this time, and all that, facing the qibla, not facing the qibla, facing the Masjid al-Aqsa? Do I have to say that? No. Once in my heart I know, yarif. Okay, yarif word is used in the books, that your heart knows what salat you're reading, your heart knows what you're doing, that's done. That's your niyyat done. So same for fasting. When your heart knows that I'm going to fast tomorrow, that's done. Nawaitu, do you have to say all the I am fasting tomorrow, and this is a first fast, and it's Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and this is the 1447 Ramadan, and all this? You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. If you know you're fasting, your niyyat is there. In your heart. That's sufficient. Yeah? Sahri, suhoor. This is the alamat of niyyat already. Yeah? So that's one. Now, that's the first thing I just explained. There's a big misunderstanding. It's, I did not make intention. I forgot to read all the parpara. No, you don't need to know to read all the parpara. Alright? You had your, the doctors are not here today, so one of them is here. So you had all that ghee and everything, alright, on this intention, you're fasting. That's all it is. Yeah? Understand? So, niyyat. Now, niyyat, alright, tabi'it niyyat, do you have to have that niyyat before before Subh Sadiq or not? Tabi'it, it's called tabi'it. Yeah? So, tabi'it means raat se niyyat karna. Raat se niyyat karna. Shpir niyyat karna. Yani, sehri namak ki. Before what? Subh Sadiq. So I'll explain that. So according to Ahnaf, for nafal, Nazari muayyan, you know the nazar, the vow you have appointed. And Ramadan fasting, tabiit niyat is not necessary. Look, Ramadan, nazari muayyan and nafal, tabiit niyat is not necessary. Yeah, and yeah. And for the other three types, Qadai Ramadan, Kafarat fasting, and Nadr Ghairi Muayyan, Tabiit Niyat is necessary according to Ahnaf. Shall I go in the other ikhtilaf or should that confuse you all? You want me to go in the other ikhtilaf? These guys like it. According to Mawalik, Imam Malik rahmatullah, for all the categories of fasting, tabiit niyat is first, even for nafal. Imam Malik rahmatullah says for all the, I don't want you stay home for me. Yeah, for all the categories of what 6 types of fasting, alright, tabiit niyat is necessary according to Imam Malik rahmatullah.
मन्नत के रोजे को क्या कहते हैं?
हाँ जी,
मन्नत का रोजा जो होता है
Nazar killer. Tabeet means, I'll explain, I'll open it up in a few seconds. Huh? Yeah. Tabeet means making intention from the night before Sehri time, Subha Sadiq. Yeah?
If someone fails to wake up for suhoor, but his niyat was already there.
It's okay, his niyat is done. That's what I'm saying. His niyat is there from night already.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can make it later on too.
Okay.
Yeah. Hanabila Shawafi says that except for nafal, in all other categories, the 5 types, you have to have tabiit niyat. But in nafal, you don't need to have tabiit niyat.
Just to clarify, so for us, if we miss suhoor and we wake up, we can still fast without any issues.
Yeah, you don't have to. So what? Look, the easy way to explain it. You know the hadith I said earlier on. Salma bin Aqwa radiallahu ta'ala says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got this hadith is going to be used in various places. The information of seeing the moon. Yeah, the sight of the moon late, after one morning. So Rasulullah sent a message around that whoever has not eaten, they stop eat, don't eat at all and carry on the fast. Whoever has eaten, do the qada later on. This hadith is clear cut saying that in forest fasting, which is muta'ayyan, or like Ramadan, like Nadr Mu'ayyan, alright, you don't need to make intention from the night. As long as you have not eaten. You can make the intention before Zawal, midday. Before midday. I'll explain the midday in a few seconds. Yes? Is that clear? Yeah? And there's other hadiths in Imam Muslim rahmatullah collected other hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to come to Aisha radiallahu ta'ala and her house or Azwaj Mutaharat house, any of them, and say, is there any food? Is there any food? If they used to say, there's nothing to eat, he said, I'm fasting. That's later on, that's at lunchtime, just before lunchtime. Alright? 10, 11, 10 o'clock like that. He used to come and say, is there any food? So they say, nothing. Then Rasulullah used to say, I'm fasting. Yeah? So this is indicated for nafal alright, you do not need to make intention from the night, as long as you haven't eaten. Anyway, these are the lead. Imam Malik rahmatullah got the hadith that whoever not make intention from the night, their fasting is not done. This is also collected in Abu Dawud too. Alright? But we have answer for that. That means that it's better to make that intention from night. Anyway, let me explain it through an example. Yeah. For instance, I went to London. So I'm Musafir. Do I have to fast? No. Yeah? I came back to Cardiff before about 9 o'clock. At night, I did not make intention of what? Fasting. Yeah? Now I came 9 o'clock, I realized it's only until 5 o'clock fasting, I'll fast. I haven't eaten anything, haven't drunk anything, no medication. So have I done tabid in it? No. Yeah? I make intention that time. Is that okay? Yeah? Okay? No problem? Understand? So that's what it means, alright?
Even the Farad Rosa?
Even the Farad Rosa. Ramadan Rosa, Nazir Mu'ayyan and Nafal Rosa. What does midday mean? You know, Nisfi Shar'i, not Urfi. Nisfi Shar'i means, you know, from Subh Sadiq, Seri time, till Maghrib time, or half that day. That's Nisfi Shar'i.
Say again.
From Subh Sadiq to Maghrib, alright, to Ghurub Shams, half that day, alright, that's Nisfi Shari. Not from sunrise to what? Maghrib. It will make 1 hour difference, one and a half hour difference, something like that. You understand? So that's what it means, Zawal. Alright, Nisfi Shari. Is that clear? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, shall I cover this about seeing the moons and all that? Khair will want me to cover that. Yeah. Alright. What is Farz Kifaya to look for the moon? Yeah, someone has to do that. So, for Ramadan al-Mubarak on the 29th of Shaban, someone has to look for the moon, sight the moon. If the matala, if the horizon is clear, right, then there have to be a Jammi Ghafir, a big Jumaat saying that we've seen the moon. If it's not clear for Ramadan, only one person can see the moon and that's sufficient. Otherwise you have to complete what? 30 days, this is what Rasulullah fa'akmilu. Sorry? So Rasulullah says a complete, sorry?
Even if one person see the moon,
If the matla is not clear, if it's is what you call it, cloudy, that is okay. But then the Qadi have to accept this. If the Qadi does not accept it or the ulama don't accept it, then he has to fast, but he can't thing on everyone else. Make everyone adopt his rule regulation. Anyway, this will take too much time. But what I say is that if you read the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Muslim and the hadith I just narrated to you, that one tabi says al-Fadl Qurayb, I think so, in Muslim, that al-Fadl sent him to do something for her in Sham, in Damascus. When he came back to Madinatul Munawwara, Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma asked him, which day do you fast? He said, we fasted on Thursday. We fasted on Thursday. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala said, did Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala know about it? Yes. He said, Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala know, took the shahadat and he said, yes, we are fasting on Thursday. So the Amir of the time have regulated this the fast on the Thursday. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala said, no, we over here are fasting on Friday. We do not see them. And we are going to complete our fasting according to our sighting, not your sighting. So he did not take his view. But on the other side, you see hadith of Rasulullah, where Rasulullah was told from some Sahabi that we see in the moon on this day. So Rasulullah took his shahadat. So anyway, what I'm trying to say, the difference of differences. There's a slight indication, I don't want to go into detail, that if some countries see the moon before, if we follow them, that's okay. And if some countries do not see it, and they see later on, if we try to follow them, that's okay too. But the main thing is that we need unity. If there's already majority following one group, we should all follow them. One individual or two individuals should not make their own days, start their own days or finish their own days. That's wrong. That's not allowed, inshallah. Unity is very necessary. This ikhtilaf, this different opinion, for instance, should we follow Saudi? Should we follow South Africa or Pakistan or India? Yeah? And what's ikhtilaf matali, غير matali, ikhtilaf matali, or is it mu'tabarun, غير mu'tabarun? This is the ijtihadi masala. But Quran says, وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. Creating a fitna is even worse than killing. So if there's unity in any area, either they follow Morocco, or either they're all following Saudi, just keep to that. The other things are until there's no unity on everything, we should not do that. We should try to keep the unity as much as we could. Alright? Yeah? So, what's the technical reason behind this? If anyone wants to know, inshallah, sit down with me, I'll explain to them, inshallah. Yeah? So anyway, the time of fasting is from Subh Sadiq. So, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained in Muslim hadith that, explained in two ways, but I'll explain it the way you might understand it, is that when you see light going straight, alright, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when it's going straight and then after that it gets dark, that's Subh Kadhib. That's what? Subh Kadhib. So you don't start your fasting from there. What Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you see the light going like this, use his hand. When it's going like this and it's spreading, alright, and after that it's getting light, that is Subh Sadiq. That's when your time starts of what? Fasting. Yeah? That's when Abdullah ibn Maktoum radiallahu ta'ala gives his adhan. When he gives the adhan, stop. So when the time of Subh Sadiq starts, alright, are you allowed to eat or you allowed to finish your tea? No. Are you allowed to have you know what people say, when I was young I heard this a lot, that the muazzin is giving adhan, don't worry, still a few minutes left, the muazzin is giving adhan. And they take that last sip of tea. The fasting is not done. Yeah? So after the time kicks in, once the time kicks in, even if the muazzin gives the adhan late, alright, then once the time kicks in, the time starts. And it's until ghurub shams. What is until? Ghurub shams. Sunset. Ji.
Does using toothpaste break your fast?
It makes it dislike. It doesn't break. So, ghurub shams is what? Sunset. Now sunset means when the time kicks in. Our timetables are sometimes it fluctuates, our timetables we have. Sometimes they have extra 5 minutes after sunset, after some of them have 3 minutes, 2 minutes. That's not the way, that's not the right way. What is the right way? Tabi'in came to Aisha radiallahu, this hadith is in Muslim. And they said to Rasul Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, there's 2 Sahabas. And both of them are pious. Meaning Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Abu Musa Ashari radiallahu ta'ala. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Abu Musa Ashari radiallahu ta'ala. Both of them high Sahabas. Sahabas anyway. So he said, they said to Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that one of the Sahabi, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, what he does is, he breaks his fast straight away on sunset, ghurub shams, and then straight away breaks it and does his salah straight away. Do not delay this, he does not delay his salah. Doesn't have that 20-minute breaks that you have with the pakoras. Yeah? So straight away breaks his salat, fast, straight away reads his salat. And the other Sahabi, Abu Musa Ashari radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he gives some time. The ihtiyat, what we call ihtiyat. Yeah? He gives a few minutes. He breaks his salat, breaks his fast after a few minutes, and he does his salat maghrib late too. So the Tabi'i asked Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that which is closer to the sunnah? What was the amal of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You lived with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She said, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala amal according to the sunnah of Rasulullah. Is that clear? I'll give you an example from our akabir. So, Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi rahmatullah alayhi is a well-known Ausara and Buzurg and Sayyid. So he was the guest of Maulana Yahya Sir, Sheikh Zakaria Sir rahmatullahi's father. So when he went there, iftar time came, they sit under the Dastakhan. So Ghurub Shams Maulana Yahya Sir started breaking his fast. And there's a few things. So he didn't have a full Dastakhan with pakoras and everything, a few things there. When he started breaking his fast, Hazrat Thanvi rahmatullah alayhi says, my adat is that I give 2 minutes after sunset. Ihtiyat. And he said, all right, then where are we eating? So Maulana Yahya Sahib and his murideen start eating. One Maulana Ashraf Thanvi rahmatullah realized that if I do the ihtiyat, I'll have nothing to eat then. He said, I'm breaking it with you two guys too. So what it is, that ihtiyat, there's a limit of being on the safe side. The main thing is that we try to act on the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's how it's going to be shown. Sorry, if someone delays it on this intention, then I will get more sawab. By delaying it, they will get sinful for it. That's makruh. If someone delays it on this intention, the more I keep fasting, not eating, I get more sawab. No, you won't get more sawab. You get the rule regulation is now eat. Now eat. So don't make your own shariat from your own side. Yeah?
So Muslim, just sorry, I mean, what is, Ghurub Aftab? What
We will
is that?
sunset.
So the determination of the time.
Termination of the time is, you can look on Google
Yeah.
and they will show you that this time is sunset. Now your question, what I understand is that the time was saying is sunset, but you can still see light going on. Yeah? The shuai are still there. Understand? So you don't look at that. You look at the time when it's sunset. I'll give you an example. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on a journey in Ramadan. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stopped and said to Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Fattah. Itiha means, sattu, barley. So mix that in water. Mix the barley in water. He said, Ya Rasulullah, should we wait a bit? Because you can see the reddish part, alright? The shuai, you can still see that. The reflection of the what? Sun. Rasulullah said, no. Mixing, we're breaking fast. So the reddish and the reflection, you don't look at that. That's coming from the what? The ocean. Yeah? So the main thing, one is sunset, that's time to break your fast. So I give you a delete from Muslim hadith, alright? Yeah.
So sorry, earlier you said you go with unity, with majority. So our timetables are generally a few minutes behind sunset. So do we stick to the timetable or do we stick to Google?
No, if the unity is not, you do the salat according to the masajid, alright? But you can break the fast before that. If you look at the time, some timetables got extra 5 minutes in some days. Is not 100% correct, alright? Some of them got 2 minutes, 3 days. If you want to sunset 1 minute, After 1 minute sunset.
For Maghrib, for breaking our fast.
Yeah, 1 minute, just put 1 minute. That's enough. Because what happens is, alright, if the sun sets over here on 5:52 in it, over there if just by the castle is be 5:51.55 seconds. A few seconds different, but it won't be more than 30 seconds different. Yeah, around Cardiff. Yeah, so just sunset or whatever you are, then after 1 minute just break your fast.
Mufti sir, we were looking at this timetable. We only look at timetables, so that is according.
It's okay, but there's mistakes in the timetable. It's okay. I'm not saying it's haram, but it's okay. But I'm just saying the masala. My job is to explain the masala of how we should do it. So there's mistakes in the timetable that should be corrected. But at the moment, if anyone does break the fast, they should break it on sunset. Yeah. All right. Sure. Let's go to the Masai. فَإِنْ أَكَلَ الصَّائِمُ أَوْ شَرِبَ أَوْ جَامَ نَاسِيًا لَمْ يُفْطِرْ. Is someone, there's two things, nisyan and khata. What are the two things? Nisyan and khata. Khata means you make a mistake. And nisyan means you forget. I'll explain with the example. If you forget, eat, drink, or commence, your fasting does not break. That's nisyan, yeah. I'll explain now, inshallah. Khata means you make a mistake. By making a mistake, your fasting will break. Before I go to the example, Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if anyone forgets and eats or drinks, فَلْيُتِمَّ صَوْمَهُ فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ. They should complete the fasting because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fed them and gave them food. Bukhari has collected this hadith. And another hadith in Daraqutni similar to this, that there's no qada, no kafar on them. Daraqutni has collected another hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that whoever eats, drinks in nisyanan, they carry on, no qada on them, no kafar on them. I know they don't keep on breaking. Now, what's the difference between nisyan and khata? Nisyan is alright, that I'm fasting and my act is on purpose. I'm fasting, for instance, and I start drinking. No, I'm doing this intentionally, innit? And I forgot I'm fasting. Or I start eating. Yeah? I took everything on purpose. The jalebi, the gulab jamun on purpose to my mouth. Yeah? Or the pakora, yeah? So, is my fasting broke? No. According to Jamhur, it's not broken. Imam Malik rahmatullah says it's broken. Right? Jamhur says it's not broken. So nisyan doesn't break. Alright, we carry on because we got a hadith of Rasulullah. And the other is khata. Yeah? I'm doing, I'll act as a shaki person. I'm doing my wudu. And the shaki person, alright, he knows he's fasting. I'm doing my wudu. Alright? I know I'm fasting. I haven't forgot. But I started putting water in my mouth and then it went down. I put the water in my mouth. But by my fail, my act, I made the accident what? Mistake. It went down. So that water went down in my stomach, alright. I drank water, haven't I? And this is not nisyan, this is khatan. This is what? Khatan. Now my fast will break. But am I allowed to eat and drink? No. Yeah? Fasting, you have to do a qada after that.
If the water goes through your nose
and through your body will air.
If you put that much water, it goes through your nose and you feel it going through your throat, alright, and then it breaks. See, it's in 1 month. I'll come to it anyway. Yeah. So it's all So that's khata. That happens too. That's why ulama has written that whenever you do wudu or ghusl, you don't need to go in detail. Don't start sniffing water up your nose and your mouth. Let's just keep it light. And don't go in doubt too because you feel that the water's gone down. Alright? No. Al-yaqeen la yazulu bi-shak. By doubt it doesn't go away. Right?
So that's the matter, what is that? What's the difference between the criteria of shak and yaqeen? Is it gone or is it just my doubt?
Yeah, that's what you have to figure out. If you keep on saying that, then it's shak. Yeah, and if a shaki person, I'll tell him not to in Ramadan not to do wudu in the mouth and nose if they have shak, because this is just sunnat. Yeah, in Farz ghusl is different thing. Yeah, understand? But they shouldn't have shak at all. Just leave it, just carry on. Because shak is an illness, alright. The shaitan wants to create so you don't do your wudu properly, you don't do your salat. Because some people, because of shak and doubt, alright, what happens, alright, they stop reading the salat then. So this is very dangerous. Yeah? Alright. So that's one masala, nisyan and iftar, alright? And I give you a hadith on that too. If someone has wet dream. Yeah? By wet dream, fasting does not break. Or ejaculates from any other reasons by looking at the opposite gender or watching TV or something and ejaculate, fasting does not break with that. Just have to do ghusl. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, this hadith, remember this hadith, that that by vomiting, I'll explain the vomiting part later on. Just remember this hadith for reference. Whoever vomits, have a wet dream or cupping. Abu Dawud connects this hadith and says that these things do not break your fast. Ihtilam, K, I'll explain the K part, right? And ihtijam means cupping, does not break your fasting. You can carry on. Yeah? Understand? And Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says, ربما اكتحل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو صائم. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam put the kuhl, sulma. You know the sulma in your eyes? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to put them. Sunan al-Bayhaqi has collected this hadith and other hadiths too. So that does not break fasting. So when you put sulma in your eyes, you might get, when you spit out, you might get blackness in your spit too. Yeah, it happens. So this does not break your fast. Not on the hadith, alright? And also, could you put any eye drops in your eyes? Ishmael? Could you? Yeah? You're Mufti, no? Yeah, you can put eye drops in your eyes so it does not break. Yeah, because that's his job and he has to do that. I've got youngsters, so I have to explain this, alright, boys? Kissing your spouse, both of them, will this break your fast or not? Realistically, by kissing your spouse, this does not break your fast. if why did a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam indicate that you should, some of the hadiths indicate that you should not kiss your spouse? Why did fuqaha say that sometimes they say some people should not kiss their spouse? The reason behind this that the hadith and fuqaha are saying that someone does not have control on themselves, they should not kiss. They might go ahead and commence. And those who have control on themselves, no doubt, they can carry on kissing. Exactly in fasting. Yeah? Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha narrates in Muslim that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to kiss his what? Spouse, his wife. Yeah, fasting. And then she smiled or laughed. ثم تضحك. She what? Smiled. Why did she do that? She didn't say clear cut that I was the one, but she then smiled and indicated that I was the one. Why did she was she rude? No, she was not rude. She was trying to narrate the hadith that this is my own experience, that's why I'm telling you this. Because it's a matter of narrating the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Aisha radiallahu clear cut, it means that Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha says that Nabi alayhi salatu salam used to kiss me in fasting, but it did not break his hadith. Some hadith are saying that Nabi alayhi salatu salam said to some of the sahabas, no, you don't kiss. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that he did not have control on himself. So it all depends on the person how he is. Now the matter is, if someone kisses his wife or just lay down by his wife or touched his wife and he ejaculated, someone kissed his wife or mubasharat, just laying down, alright, by his wife and ejaculated, so is qaza on him, no kafara. His fast will break because he messed around. He started messing around. Because fasting will break. Qada on him, no kafara on him. Is that clear? Yeah, or did I confuse you? Alright, this masala, listen to this carefully. Okay. Number one is qay, or number two is istiqa. Qay means vomiting, yeah? So number one, qay means that you did not do it on purpose, it came. Yeah, came. You couldn't control it, it's coming, you feel vomiting, yeah? Nauseated, yeah? So if it's full mouth or not full mouth, doesn't break, nothing will break. Hassan, you ate too much in sari, yeah? You ate that ginger, which is according to me haram. You ate your prawns and everything. Now you ate too much, alright, and now you feel vomiting. Yeah, you vomited, you did not put your finger in it, either full mouth or not full mouth, your fasting does not break. How will you differentiate between full mouth and not full mouth? Yes, boys?
Control it.
If you can control it, it means it's not full mouth. If you cannot control it, it means it's what? Full mouth. Number two is istiqa. Istiqa means that you forcefully, what you call vomit. Put your finger in it. That's the forceful. That you put your finger in it and you forcefully start vomiting. If it's not full mouth, it does not break your fast. This is the main one. Huh? If it's not full mouth, it does not break. But istiqa, if you forcefully start vomiting, you put your finger in your mouth and you start vomiting, alright, and you done the full mouth, then that will break your fast. Just qada on it, no kafara. This people, they vomit, do care. Normally, the full mouth, they say we broke a fast. No, it's not broken. This is a big misunderstanding of people. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in the hadith, I'll come to your question. Tirmidhi says, Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala says, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من ذرعه القيء فليس عليه قضاء ومن استقى عمدا فليقضي. Tirmidhi brings hadith that whoever does qay, alright, that does not break your fast. Istiqa, forcefully does and is full mouth, that thou break your fast. Tirmidhi brings this hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala. Yes, your question?
No, I was trying to say, what happens if they've not forcefully before?
They have to, the qadha, fasting break, qadha on them, no kafara. G.
What if they put their fingers down the throat, but they can control the vomiting?
Then that's not full mouth. So no qadha, no breaking, no qadha, no kafara. So that's not full mouth. For anything which is not full mouth in both situations does not break. Yeah? G.
So I want to go back a little bit. You said eye drops are okay, but nose drop, ear drops, those are...
I'll come into that. Yeah? All right. Let me cover that. The book is going to say that, I think so. But when I come there, if I don't cover it, remind me. Right? Yeah. In some situations, you have to, if you break your fast, all right, I'll just say this, then I'll give you a break. Anything which is normally eaten as food or drink or as medication, if you eat that on purpose or drink that on purpose, all right, without any excuse. Let me repeat that. Anything which is, this is a rule, I don't write this. Anything which is normally eaten as food, drink, or medication. Understand? Or as a desire to fulfill your what? Desire. If you do this amidan, purposely, without any uzr, without any excuse, all these are points. This will break your fast and you will have to give a kafara too. Anything which is eaten, drunken, or as medication, or to fulfill your desires without any uzr, without any excuse. If you do these on amidan, purposely, your fasting will break and also your kafara will get wajib on you. Yeah, and same if anyone commences with their wife, with their spouse. Amidan, purposely, their fasting will break and kafara will be wajib on them. If it happens to Nisyan is a very lucky person. Yeah.
What about wife? She has to do as well.
Yeah, if she knows.
मुफ्ती साहब में बीमारी है, कोई बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लड प्रेशर हो जाए,
तोड़ना चाहिए
फिर दवाई ले सकता हूँ।
जी जी आप
उसमें सिर्फ कज़ा है ना?
सिर्फ कज़ा है जी। I said, all right. Anything which is, if anything they eat or which is normally not eaten and on purpose, the fast will break, but no kafara is wajib. For instance, someone start at a pebble, at a what? Pebble, at metal, yeah, at sand. These are things already normally you cannot eat, unless they have a habit of eating soil. Mitti khana. If they have the habit, or some people have, I don't know, you all young, some babas will know, Alright, I'm one of the barbers too, alright. The brother was saying that you look old now. I said, it's age now, it's gonna catch up.
After 15 years.
15 years, you know. So it's a big gap now. So anyway, so people, you know, they used to have a takhti, they used to have a wooden thing, and they used to write on it. For that, they used to put some kind of a soil on it, so miti, alright. Some kids used to love to eat that.
Very tasty.
So the real reason is that they have some kind of deficiency or something, right? So they start eating soils or something like that. That's the real thing. You're a doctor, you should know it. Alright? So because of that deficiency, right, they eat that. Yeah? So they eat that miti, they eat the soil, they love it more than chocolate. Kids. I've seen it myself.
المستجيب بدي
See, my son used to eat it. So they used to sell it in chocks like that. So kids used to buy them really to put on the takhtis in it. Yeah? But they used to start eating it. My auntie said that, you know, because the houses used to be mud in it, she says, I used to lick the walls and eat. So if they eat it like that, then if they have the habit of that, then it breaks the fasting. Same with smoking, alright? If someone smokes or anything like that, that will break the fast and the kafara will be wajib on that. Why is kafara? Alright, kafara is, alright, that easy way to explain two things. 60 fasting, mutatabi'. 60 fasting, if they break purposely, 60 fasting continuously. Or feeding 60 miskeens twice a day. Yeah? If they don't have the ability to fast. That's if they don't have the ability.
If who doesn't have the ability, sorry.
G?
Who doesn't have the ability?
The person who broke his fast.
60 people.
So what about the one rosa? That is also.
That's
beside-
61.
Beside that?
No, that's beside the 61.
60 people try.
Yeah.
Twice a day.
That's about £8 a day. Now today, right? I'll come to that. I'll try to cover everything, inshallah.
I've got a question. If someone has to fast 60 days, they have to do it continuously. If they break it, they start from the beginning.
Yeah, start again. Start again all over. It's not easy. Or don't make a mistake. Yeah? Yeah. And there's hadiths on this, alright? Imam Muslim rahmatullahi brings hadith. The Sahabi came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I commenced with my wife. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you have to do kafara. He said, Ya Rasulullah, you saying 60 days, you're saying to me to free a slave. I don't have a slave, I have nothing. You're saying to fast 60 days. I can't fast one day. You tell me to fast 60 days. Yeah? So Rasulullah said, so give sadaqah, give kafara. And then in another, then for him is permission that he can eat his own kafara. That's for him. That's his speciality. But this hadith is clear cut indicated that kafara is wajib on those people who break the fast. There's another hadith in Daraqutni, which is the rule regulation that anyone who breaks their fast purposely in any way, or right, by eating or drinking or jima, they have to give kafara to. Yeah, that's the ruling from hadith. I don't want to go into details of this, yeah? And I don't want to go into ikhtilafat. Ikhtilaf is alright. According to Jamhur, alright, they say the kafara is only wajib in jima. And we say it's wajib in both jima and akal and shurb too, in eating and drinking too. And we got a hadith for that, alright?
So it's mainly like between Hanaf and Jamhur.
Yeah. If someone does jima, messes around with himself or herself, or madun al-farj, if anyone does any kind of messing around with his wife, puts his private part in her legs or arms or anything like that, or masturbate, male or female masturbate, masturbation will break the fast. There'll be qada on them, no kafara. There's also misunderstanding on this. Masturbation will break the fast. Qada on them, no kafara. fasting besides Ramadan fasting. If anyone breaks it on purpose or anything, is no kafara in that. Just the adab and respect of Ramadan. So if anyone breaks any fasting purposely, without any excuse in Ramadan, there will be qada on them and kafara. But if there is any other fasting, there's no kafara on them. There's qada on them, but no kafara on them. Alright, remember this rule. The kafara is only related to what? Ramadan fasting, not any other fasting. That's the respect of Ramadan. Yeah? Should we have a break and then I'll cover from here, inshallah ta'ala. I'm coming to your question now, inshallah. We have exactly 10 minutes break, please, and then we'll start again. Yeah. We'll try to cover as much as we could. If we have to go over time, we have to.
الله